Just wanted to make a note about treatment, specifically inpatient treatment, because I always say to people it's absolutely possible to recover on your own. However, a lot of the time I do recommend that people go to treatment as well. And there are so many flaws in treatment, don't even get me started. But sometimes, in some situations, I just think this person needs to go somewhere where they can be monitored for medical reasons and they need to be force fed. They need someone there every time they eat because they're not at the moment able to do it themselves. And I think that that's really the big question. If you're going to do treatment, if you're going to not do treatment, if you're going to recover on your own, you have to be able to do it, don't you? You have to be able to force yourself to eat. And that is something that when I decided I was going to eat without restriction, and I did have to start off by forcing myself to eat, I told myself, if I can't do it, I am booking myself into a treatment centre. Can you imagine me in a treatment centre? No. So that's how serious I was about it, though. I was like, right, unless you can do this, you're going in there. And the thought of that was enough to make me shove pizza in my face and a lot of other things. I know a lot of people, like I was, are massively opposed to going. It's just the thought of sitting in a circle. It was the thought of group therapy, honestly, that, yeah. Nothing against group therapy, I shouldn't say that, but it's just not that, just wasn't for me at that time, let's put it that way. I know so many people that have gone to a treatment centre and a group therapy has been the best thing for them and it has really actually helped them a ton. So just because at that time when I was very sick, I couldn't even fathom the idea of it, does not mean that it's a bad thing for everybody. We've just got to always know ourselves and know, all right, well, what is going to get me to do this? And that for me was one of the things, the thought of me voluntarily going into treatment was enough to make me put food in my face and continue doing so until I was recovered. But anyway, that wasn't the point. The point was that you have to be able to do that and you have to give yourself a very short space of time in which to prove to yourself that you can do it. You don't say, oh, well, I'll have a go at it for a month and see if, I'm able to do it in a month. And if I'm not, then maybe I'll think about going to treatment. No, you won't change anything because it's too far away. You have to, if you're going to do this on your own, you have to be like, right now, I'm eating. And you have to be able to make yourself eat. And if you can't do that, I really urge you to get yourself into treatment so that somebody else can take control and somebody else can get you kick-started. We all know, at least, well, a lot of people don't know, but you should know if you listen to my channel, that the work starts, if you have been into treatment, the work starts when you come out, because you don't get neural rewiring done in treatment. And that is what the bulk of the work is when we're doing eating disorder recovery, is neural rewiring. It's the neural rewiring that gets you fully recovered. So let's not even put the expectation on inpatient or partial hospitalization or anything like that. Let's not even put the expectation on that to get us recovered. The expectation on that is to get enough nutrition into our bodies that our little brains can start working a bit better and think a little bit more logically, and even give you the strength that you need mentally to be able to push yourself into eating more. So if that is where you are, and it's not about judging whether someone doing recovery better than another person. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I really couldn't give a shit if someone did recovery on their own, if somebody did a recovery with the help of 20 therapists. I don't care. It's just about whether you got yourself recovered or not, isn't it? Fully recovered. So taking out any sort of judgment, either way, it's just about being honest about where you are. And if you cannot force yourself to do the things that you need to do in order to fully recover, then you have to let go of control and hand control over to someone else for a little while so that they can get you to the point where you've got enough nutrition in your brain to be able to force yourself to do those things. That's all it's about for a lot of people. I've got one client at the moment, well, he's not really talking to me, he's really sick, and he is in hospital, and he knows, as well as all of us that try and help him know, that when he gets down past a certain weight, his brain exits the building. He just doesn't think. He cannot make the correct decisions. He cannot allow people to feed him. He cannot choose the right sorts of foods. Like, all he is in is an anorexia spiral. And when his weight gets up past a certain point, it's like the brain comes back. Now, that's the thing though, the brain comes back, but he's not fully recovered because he's still got to do all that neural rewiring when he comes out of treatment. And that's where the real work starts. And I think that that's true for a lot of people. You get down past a certain weight, brain's gone. Can't even make the right decisions. You get up, your weight gets up a little bit, and the brain starts to come back, and you can start to do the work, and you can start to be strong enough mentally to push yourself to do things that you're really afraid of doing. Now, absolutely, some people can do that right off the start, and they don't go into a treatment center because they can force themselves to eat. But some people just can't, and you've just got to be honest about where you are. Don't judge yourself on it. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day, does it? If you get yourself fully recovered, who gives a fuck about how you got there or what you did? That's the whole point, is getting fully recovered so that you can lead a full and exciting life and a wonderful life. I really get sick of any sort of judgment about how a person recovered or not. If you got yourself there, that's all that mattered. Anyway, so I guess the whole point of this was just for those people, and I know that there's some of you watching this, where you're telling yourself, no, I'm doing recovery, I'm on my own. But if you're honest, nothing's really changed, has it? Over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months. You haven't stopped your compulsive movement. You haven't stopped your restriction. Your restriction might look a bit different. You might have made an effort, made a shift. Maybe you're actually having breakfast where before you weren't. Maybe you're actually having lunch whereas before you weren't. But you and I both know that it's not really changed, has it? And it's not really changed to the extent that your body needs it to change in order to recover. And just have a look back over the last couple of months and be honest with yourself. Have you really been doing recovery, or have you been continuing to restrict and compulsively exercise and purge, or whatever it is that you do? And have a think about that, and then try and take all of the judgment that you have in your head about what treatment is or anything like that, and see if you can actually see it as, is this something that I need to give me a kickstart? Is this something that I need just to give me a little bit of a lift, a little bit of nutrition, so that then I can tackle this? Because, quite frankly, I just want you to get better quickly. Because it's so much better not having an eating disorder than having one. That's why I want you to get better. Have a think about that. All right, bye.